Hey, what is going on, guys? It is 𝗧𝗺 here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get high kill games here in Season 8, and specifically how to get more high kill games consistently, because I think that's really important. And before we get into the video, make sure you guys drop a like, and make sure you guys subscribe to this channel, and as well, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. The link for that will be down in the description below, or check the pinned comment. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so for the gameplay you guys are seeing in the background, it is a 30 kill solo squad gameplay. I had my teammate end up dying off spawn, unfortunately, so I ended up clutching this game with 30 kills. A pretty insane gameplay. I've dropped 30 kills twice. That is the most amount of kills I've ever gotten. So in this gameplay right here that you're watching, I did tie the most amount of kills that I've gotten. So when you're going for these high kill games, there's definitely a few really important things that you have to keep in mind. And first off, of course, picking the landing location that you want to land at is going to be very crucial. I'd recommend either landing at retail or tilted towers. I feel like those two locations are going to be your best option to land at no matter what. Just because those two locations are going to be the locations that you're going to find the most amount of people off spawn, and sometimes it can vary, but if you want to go for high kill games, like I said, more consistently, then these are the two locations you want to go at, because you always want to put yourself at the best possible chance and give yourself the best possible opportunity to dropping these high kill games. So going to those two locations are going to give you guys the best chance of getting the most amount of kills off spawn. And when you're going for these high kill games, say if you want to go for a 20 or 30 kill game, I'd recommend at least getting 6 kills off spawn. And I've had games where I even gotten 3 kills and dropped 30 kills, so you don't really need a crazy amount of kills off spawn. You have to go crazy in the end game if you don't, but even if you don't get the crazy amount of kills off spawn, you still are able to. And so the next tip I want to give you guys when it comes to getting these high kill games is you want to have a good rotation. And in this gameplay here, my rotation was from retail over to 𝗧𝗲, and then I think I headed over to Dusty Divot, where kind of the pirate location is, and then I went back over to Salty Springs, and that's where I got the most amount of kills in this game, was over next to Salty Springs. And so coming off of retail, I either hit Dusty Divot, kind of where all the mushrooms are, or I hit over to Salty Springs, because a lot of times you're going to be catching a team off guard in 𝗧𝗲, which is going to allow you to pick off 3 or 4 more extra kills after spawn. And for those of you guys who land at tilted towers, my usual rotation is from tilted towers over to Loot Lake. More than likely, I'm going to find a team there, and then immediately after, I'm going to head over to Dusty Divot, and that's where I'm going to find the most amount of players. If there's no one there, sometimes I head over to Salty Springs, and after I clear out Salty Springs, I'll head over to retail. And those are going to be my 2 rotations that I usually do that's going to allow me to drop the most amount of kills every single game pretty consistently. And there's going to be, of course, games, because the RNG in this game where you go over to 𝗧𝗲, there's going to be no teams there, and then the next game you go over to 𝗧𝗲 and there's going to be like 2 or 3 teams coming out of nowhere. And that's just how it is in Fortnite. Sometimes you have games where even if you have the best of rotation, you're going to find absolutely nobody, and then sometimes you find the entire lobby. So it really is random. So going for these high kill games, you always want to try to give yourself the best possible chance, and just going to those locations and having a good rotation is going to allow you to do so, even though you're not going to be able to drop 20 kills every single game, but it is going to allow you to give the best possible chance of dropping one. And also, one of the best tips that I can give you guys when it comes to just running through a lot of players, finding the next team really quickly, and this is something that I've talked about a lot in my videos as well, is I talk about how to loot quickly and how to loot more efficiently. Because if you're not able to loot quickly in Fortnite, I guarantee you're going to be missing out on a ton of kills, a lot of opportunities for rotations, and just different things like that. So cutting down on the time it takes for you to loot another player, whether it be off spawn, grabbing a shotgun, grabbing shield, or even in the mid game after you clear out a team. So cutting down on the amount of time it takes for you to loot another player is going to be a huge skill and really underrated in my opinion, because that could be the difference between getting 10 kills in a game or even getting 16 or 17. Just because if you take down all the time it takes for you to loot, those could be the times that it would take for you to go over to another team, maybe getting a good third party, because I've had a ton of times game after game where I'd rotate to the next team and I would get there literally like 2 or 3 seconds late, and if I would have just cut the amount of time it took me to loot off spawn, then I would have for sure been over there in time, and as well I would have been able to pick off 2 or 3 more kills at that location. So cutting down on the amount of time it takes for you to loot another player is really important, and a really good way to do this, and something that I do all the time, is as soon as I clear out a team, maybe in the mid game or even early game, and I'm picking up their loot, I really just try to see exactly what I need. Maybe it's materials, I'll really focus and just grabbing the materials really quick. It could be ammo, it could be shield, whatever the case may be. You just want to focus on whatever you need to grab, and then once you grab that thing, you just need to get out of there and then try to find the next team. So that's going to allow you to find the most amount of people, because if you're constantly looting really slow, it's going to cost you a lot of time that you really need to fight the next team. And when you're going for these high kill games, timing is everything, which means every single time that you get into a gunfight, you're gonna want to try to kill the other team that you're going against. Maybe it's 1 or 2 players or even more. Whoever you're going against, you want to try to get through the gunfight as quick as possible, because timing is going to be everything if you want to go for these high kill games. So if you're going for those 20 to 30 kill games, you're gonna have to be going through teams very quickly, which means you can't get caught up on teams for lasting, I would say, even more than a minute, because the longer you are in the gunfight, the less time you have rotating and pushing the next team for more kills. So you want to definitely be able to kill the players a lot quickly. I don't really know if there's too many tips I can give you guys when it comes to doing that, just because there is a lot of different situations that you can get into and a lot of different ways that you could fight the other players. You just want to try to have the best advantage possible going into the gunfight so you can go through those players as quickly as possible. And that could just be something as simple as starting from high ground going into the fight, because if you see a team below a hill, or maybe they're on a different direction, coming from high ground before you get into the gunfight can play a huge role. And that is something that I'm going to be doing here right in this fight. I know the players are up top, but I'm not going to be trying to take any shots when I'm on low ground. I'm going to wait till I get on high ground like I am here before challenging into my gunfight, which can play me a huge advantage. I'm going to get a 1 pump on the first guy, and it's going to allow me to kill the other 2 players very quickly. And it would have been a lot harder to kill these players, like I said, if I started from low ground, maybe got 1 or 2 shots on the other player. I for sure definitely would not have been able to get a 1 pump from that range, and the rest of his teammates, the other 3 people, would have just been spraying at me the entire time as I was trying to ramp up, which would have cost me a ton of mats and also a ton of time. So that would have been much more difficult. So starting from high ground going into the fight is going to play a huge role and allow me to go through the players that I'm fighting against much more quick. And also another way to get a lot of kills, and also really easy kills, is just always looking to try to have a third party fight. So always looking to try to catch another player on that you're going against, looking at another team. And that's something that I did just a second ago, where I shot a guy for 𝗧𝗲𝗺 who I think he was trying to snipe a guy across the map. It allowed me to get some free easy shots. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to knock him there, and which I really should have, but I ended up getting a lot of really good tags on that player because he was completely focused on another team. So if you can just try to go into the fight and have the other team focus on other people, it's going to allow you to get a lot of easy shots. And as well, the people that you're going to be going against are going to be on a lot lower HP because they're going to be in a fight, which is just a win-win for you, because the players you're going to be going against aren't even focused on you and they're going to be low on HP. So it's going to make it pretty simple to get a lot of those kills, and a lot of kills are going to be very simple to get. And as well, it does tie into my next thing. If you are getting focused, because that's probably one of the worst things that you can get into, especially in a solo versus squads, solo versus duos, and you have like 3 or 4 people all focusing on you at the exact same time, that's going to be one of the hardest fights to take, and you want to try to do everything you can to try to avoid that kind of thing from happening. And a very good way to go about it, a good way to avoid it, is you can either box up or you can use a launch pad to try to rotate to another area. Because if there's going to be 2 teams fighting and you're a solo, more likely than not, if you're moving very quick, you're using a launch pad to get out of the area, a lot of the times that full team isn't going to be focused on you. They're going to be focused on the full team that they have to worry about, because it is a lot harder to kill a full team than it is to kill a solo. So if you're not right there in the middle of every single player, it's going to be more likely than not they're not going to be focusing on you, which is going to allow you to get a lot of third-party tags and just really put you in a good position to get a lot of shots on players, and as well get a few knocks and also a few eliminations without being focused on every single player in that fight. Another good tip I can give you guys when you're going up against a squad is you always want to try to get that first knock. I think that's really important, and it's going to allow you to have the best possible chance of winning that fight. Even if you can just get 1 elimination, even if you're going against a 1v2 after that, it's still going to put you at a good advantage, just because that one player that's knocked, you can use them as bait or whatever. There's also a few other things that you can do. But if you're fighting a 1v3 or a 1v4, you want to try to get one of the players low, and as well you want to try to focus on that player, because like I said, if you can get that 1 initial knock, that's going to put you at a really good advantage and allow you to have the best possible chance of winning that fight. And as well, if you're ever in a situation where you are getting focused by multiple players, I guarantee if you can just tag one of the players once or twice that's shooting at you, I guarantee they're going to be backing off of you for at least a little bit of time. So a lot of times when you're getting focused by players, you just need honestly maybe another like 5 seconds just to try to get away, or maybe to pop a heal. And if you're getting sprayed up by multiple players, if you're able to get 1 or 2 tags on a player who's spraying a ton at you, I guarantee they're going to be backing off for at least a little bit of time, which is going to allow you to get off an extra heal, an extra mini, or whatever the case may be that you're going to need to win that fight. And with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope this video helped you guys out, and if you guys could, definitely drop a like. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as well subscribe to my channel. The link for that will be down in the description below. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.